Well, for me, are we on here? For me, the thing that we need more of is transparency and openness in search. I think this is going to help us get to a new level of quality in search as well. But for the last several years, I think we've hit a bit of a plateau in the quality of search. It's pretty good. It has a lot of problems, examples. You can still find plenty of searches in Google or Yahoo. That will be similar to the examples that he showed. And for me, a big part of what I'm all about is open source software, transparency, openness. This is something that has benefited us across the entire internet traditionally. Most of the software that really runs the internet, Apache, PHP, GNU Linux, all open source software, and I'd like to see the same thing happen in search.
That's it. Oh, that's it. The thing is, what I don't understand is why, this room is not the typical demographic toward which your products must appeal, right? So if the average user is still enormously excited about what they can essentially newly accomplish with Google and other search engines, and Google's market share is growing, suggests there's tremendous satisfaction that's there's not a yearning for an alternative by any evidence in terms of the general consumer culture.
That's actually not correct. There's a study that came out that said over 50%.
In your opinion, or your data?
No, there's data. There was a study that came out that said search, 60% of people are not happy with search results right now, no trust them. So, and that's up from 50% last year. So, I think people do have a problem with some of the search results, but I think you're hinting at a bigger problem, which is in order to make something that is worth building or worth consumer switching, it has to be a magnitude better than the current solution. And Google's pretty fantastic, so if you're going to beat Google or Yahoo, right, you're going to have to be 2, 3, 4 times better. You can't be 15% better.
Is that your aim? Do something better?
I think we're already 5 or 10 times better for the pages we do. And so we don't have to compete or beat them for the whole long tail. We can be fantastic for the most common searches. And if you type in a general word like flat panel or TV or Paris, the less words you use on Google or Yahoo or Ask, the worse the result is actually. In our service, it's the opposite because more care is given to those by humans. So, it's a fallacy to think that you have to beat Google to compete in the space. Most people use, I've heard Marissa say this, 3 or 4 search engines a month. And so while people want to make it that Jimmy and Jason are taking on Google, it's a little ridiculous. And Google only has 60-65% market share. It's not. I mean, Microsoft had 98% market share in desktop software. So if you want to talk about a monopoly, that's correct in Microsoft case. It's absolutely not correct in Google's. And Google is only a couple-year-old company. I mean, when they came into the space, they had 0%. And so we're coming in with 0, but I don't see why each of us can't take 5 or 10%. And each percentage point of search on a market cap basis is worth $1 to $2 billion. So if we each get 1 or 2% of search, we've got extremely large businesses.
I mean, when you address that explicitly, do you think you're going to draw significant numbers of users away from Google, Yahoo, Microsoft?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we can. My view is a little bit different from Jason's, though, on the point of what it takes to beat Google. Of course, he's speaking in loose numbers, 5 to 10 times better. I don't know. It's a loose way of speaking, but what I see is that right now we have a situation where the search result quality coming from Google, from Yahoo, from Ask are all very, very similar. MSN is still much worse in my opinion, but those 3, and actually some of the few lesser known competitors, are all generating industry standard quality search. But we're no longer in the era that we were in when Google first came out, where Google was this massive quantum leap ahead. And so if we have all of the major search engines generating similar quality results, they're actually competing on brand, they're not competing on technology.
That was exactly, and you leave these markets, I think that's exactly my point. You're taking a highly technological approach, and you as well. If you ignore the brand advantage, that just the name Google, the habituation of the consumer, that is a whole factor that is